Okay, kids, today what we're going to do is show you how to use the TI-15 to create fractions and mixed numbers and convert fractions and mixed numbers back into improper fractions and back and forth. Okay? Now the first thing you want to do is take out your calculator and follow along with me. Alright? To make sure your calculator is up and running properly, you turn it on and you get this cursor. It might have crazy writing on there, but I always like to clear the calculator first by giving it a double press on those two things. If you want to clear your memory, press the on and the clear button at the same time. Release them and you'll get the message memory cleared. You can then hit the clear button to begin. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the keys for fractions, and then we're going to practice entering a few. Alright? These keys right here, this key is your unit key. That's to create a whole number and a mixed number. This is your simplifying key. This is so you can simplify a fraction. This is your numerator key, and this is your denominator key. This key right here in the middle with the capital U and lowercase n and d that goes to the other lowercase n and d is for taking a mixed number and turning it into an improper fraction. This is for turning a fraction to a decimal or a decimal to a fraction. Okay? And then these are for indicating that you're working with fractions. But we're not going to worry about these keys. We're just going to worry about these 6 keys right here. So here we go. The first thing I want you to do is enter a fraction. And here is how we do it. Okay? Enter the fraction 5/7. So the first thing you do is enter your 5. The next thing you do is you want to designate 5 your numerator. So you're going to hit the N key. Then it drops down to the cursor drops down and you want to enter your 7 for your denominator. Now the calculator's not sure whether you want to do an operation with this, so it's still got a blinking cursor over here. So what you do now is you hit enter. When you hit enter, you'll see your fraction over here. Now the calculator knows that you've created a fraction and you're going to use it for something at this point. Okay? So that's how you would enter this. You might want to pause the video and practice entering a few fractions right now. Alright, the next thing we want to talk about is entering a fraction and simplifying it. So let's clear our calculator, clear your calculator, and we're going to put in a fraction that clearly needs simplified. So what you do is you're going to enter the fraction and then we're going to simplify it. So let's start with our numerator 12 and enter 12. We want to say that that is our numerator, so hit the numerator key and we get a cursor down here in the denominator, so we just enter 24. Now before we can simplify this, we want to hit the enter key, and the calculator gives us a capital N and a capital D pointing to a lowercase n, lowercase d. That means that 12/24 is not simplified. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch the simplifying key right here. So we're going to hit simplify, and it tells us we want to simplify our original fraction. In order to get a simplified fraction, we now hit the enter key. So press the enter key and we get 6/12. Now obviously 6/12 is not in lowest terms, so you see you still have the writing up above that tells you you can go from lower, you can go from a higher to a lower termed fraction. So again, we want to simplify 6/12, so we're going to press the simplifying key and it brings 6/12 over here, tells us we're going to simplify, hit enter, and out comes 3/6. Well, 3/6 is definitely not simplified, so we're going to do the simplifying again because the letters up here tell us it needs to be. So we hit simplify and 3/6 is ready to be simplified. Hit enter and out comes 1/2. And so we're good to go there. We've simplified our fraction. The next thing we want to do is we want to talk about how to enter a mixed number. So clear your calculator, and the first thing you do is you enter your whole number. Our whole number is 4, so enter 4. Then we want to designate that the whole number, so we touch the unit key. The minute we press the unit key, you see that you're ready to enter your fraction, and it's asking for your numerator. Our numerator is 9, so you're going to press the 9 key. Here's 9, press it, and now we want to tell the calculator we're done with the numerator, so we hit the N key, or the numerator key. It now wants to know the denominator, which is 13, so we put 13 in there. Now we want to conclude, say we're done, this is the fraction we want, press enter. And you can see that it doesn't need simplifying because it doesn't have the capital N and D to the lowercase n and d. And that's how you put a mixed number in. You can pause the video and practice those if you want. Now we're going to talk about entering a mixed number and simplifying it. Okay? So we clear our calculator, and we want to put 12 in first. So we put 12 in. 12 will be our whole number, so we have to hit the unit key. Now it wants our numerator, which is 18. So we put 18 in. Now we have to tell it that that's the numerator, so we hit the N key. It wants our denominator, 27 now. And we want to work with this as a fraction, so let's hit enter. And it will go to the right side. Notice that you have the letters telling you that it can be simplified. So we're going to hit the simplifying key now. So we press the simplifying key, and it gives us our original mixed number, and we hit enter, and out comes 12 and 6/9. This still can be simplified. 6/9 can still be simplified, so we're going to touch the simplifying key again. It tells us it's ready to be simplified because 12 and 6/9, pointing to an S and a blinking cursor. Hit enter, and now we have 12 and 2/3. Okay? And we have simplified it down completely. Alright, you might want to pause the video and practice simplifying various mixed numbers. Alright, now we want to talk about entering a mixed number and changing it into an improper fraction. Clear your calculator, and here we go. Let's take and enter our mixed number. So we're going to enter the 4 first. 4, unit key, numerator 2. Tell it, hit the numerator key, tell it you want to put in the denominator. Denominator 5, enter. Okay? Now, we want to change this into an improper fraction. So we're going to go to the improper fraction key, which is right here. And all you have to do is touch that key, and it automatically turns it into 22/5. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. So our calculator is right. If we want to change it back to a mixed number, we hit that key again. And it goes back to 4 2/5. You can practice that right now if you want, and pause the video. Alright, now what we'd like to do, we would like to enter a mixed number and change it into an improper fraction and simplify it if we can. So let's clear our calculator, and let's enter 6 2/4. So we're going to enter 6 unit 2 as our numerator. Tell it we are done with the numerator. Hit N key. It wants our denominator 4. Now we want to turn this into an improper fraction, so we're going to hit enter. Calculator knows that we're working with this fraction now, and we hit the improper, the converting from mixed to improper fraction key right here in the middle, and we get 26/4. Now it tells you it needs simplified, so we hit the simplify key, and then we hit enter. Now look what it does. It takes it back to a mixed number, but with a fraction in lowest terms. If we want to continue working with an improper fraction but want it in lowest terms, we just convert it with the key that converts it from mixed to improper or improper back to mixed. So hit this key and you'll see that you get 13/2. Okay? Again, you can try that on your own a couple times or rerun the video if you need to. The last thing that we want to talk about is entering an improper fraction and changing it to a mixed number. So let's hit the clear button, and we're going to enter 42 as our numerator. So we just put 42 in first, tell the calculator that's a numerator by hitting the N key. Now it wants our denominator, so put 9 in. It still doesn't know if we're done writing our fraction, so we'll tell it we're done writing our fraction by hitting enter. And notice that it immediately takes us to a mixed number. But the mixed number is not in lowest terms, and we want to put it into lowest terms. Change a fraction into a mixed number into lowest terms. So we can hit simplify and simplify it down, and we get 4 2/3. If we want to continue to work with that as a improper fraction, you can just convert it back right here if you wanted. Okay? So you can practice with that a couple more times to get used to using it if you like. If not, you can end the video and you can go on to the next assignment.